This literally solves the biggest problem in Satisfactory and literally deletes hours of me making that blueprint. Yes, we needed this. We needed this. Oh man, I needed this. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh. I'm not going to do it exactly the way that it showed here because I want to simplify this to make it easier to digest for people that don't do math. Material changes because I saw pipes and they were shiny and I'm like, I want shiny pipes.
Like, I really think that this has been one of the biggest gripes that I've had when playing this game.
Yes.
You're constantly like expanding your factory, but every time you do, you have to like...
Yeah, like legit, I would completely forget that what I was building by the time. Like, I would go all the way back to the base. All right, hello, my name is Mr. Wise Guy, and welcome to Coffee Stain Studios. Yes, these guys right here. I mean, no, that's the title. But yes, we are going to be watching this video. Not, well, I guess all of it, but at 2 times speed because we need to decrease the time that videos are actually at. Not 2 times, like 1.25, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. But before we get into this, remember to like and subscribe and comment. It's great too. Thank you very much. And yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna just speed running into this one right here. Speed running, because this is some good stuff.
I haven't been able to sleep.
Also, there's gonna be a very hold up. There we go. Also, there's gonna be a very the thing that I really wanted to talk about specifically in this video is we're just going to skip right to it, right here.
Please remember that like Summer Sloops and Mercersphere are limited resources on the map, so you can't build an infinite amount of these. But yeah, essentially when you place a power augmenter and you hook it up to your power grid, you're just going to get free power. It's free power. And the more power augmenters you build and place and hook up, the more you're going to augment your grid. So they kind of stack, but not really, and I'll clarify a little bit further. So yeah.
All right, so let me clarify because he does a terrible job of clarifying that. Basically, think of it this way. So I made a mistake and new hat. So this is like future me talking after recording and then realizing that I had a fatal flaw. Let's just say a fatal flaw and how this is supposed to work. So here we go. We got the image right here. This is it. What we need to figure out. So what Snutt said was actually true. It is complicated. I was wrong in that evaluation. But here we go. About to correct myself and also validate Snutt because he was correct on this. We're going to use an example. And we got our trusty little calculator. So what I'm going to show you is some math. Basically, some math. Anyways, here we go. So we need... P is our production power, right? And what I was wrong about is that what I said before is that we needed to ignore the 500. We actually can't. We can't ignore the 500. Let me show you the part where it stacks, and then I'll show you the part where it doesn't actually stack, the not really part. So the part where it stacks is the extra 500 that you get on top, like just automatically when you put an augmenter like on the base, it just an automatic 500 plus. So that part stacks. That's the part that stacks. It multiplies with the 500 that you add. So here, we're going to do an example. P, we're going to keep it simple. Our production, only 100 megawatts. Actually, no. Let's do 1,000 megawatts. So our P is equal to 1,000 megawatts, right? There we go. So we need to multiply that. Well, I'm not going to do it exactly the way that it showed here because I want to simplify this to make it easier to digest for people that don't do math. So P is our production power. I'm going to add another word, base power. Base power is P plus 500 times N. And N is the amount of augmenters you have. So we're just going to start with one augmenter. So N is equal to 100. P is equal to N is equal to 1, and P is equal to 1,000. So, yes, we have one augmenter that has 500 megawatts. So, we're just going to multiply that one augmenter by, we're going to add 500, and then we're going to multiply that 500. Oh my God! You see, this is what pisses me off. Hold up. The standard calculator is just retarded because now I'm going to multiply this by 1. And, well, yeah, okay, so that works for 1. But if I multiply that same number by 2 augmenters, this is not the number. This is an error. This is an error. It's not 3,000. So I'm sorry. I'm just a little math annoyed. So what I should do is the 500 first, multiply that by 1, which gives you 500. And then we add it to the 1,000 megawatts. So this is how much power, this is our base power, 1,500 megawatts. Now, we're going to do the 10% multiplication now. The 10% multiplication, or this is 1 over 10, which if you convert this to a decimal, this fraction to a decimal, because I can't really do this in the calculator, we can only multiply this by a decimal. We multiply this number, 1,500, our base power, all of this, by 0.1. 0.1 is 10%. 0.1 is 10%. Multiply that, that equals 1,500. That equals 100, 500. This equals 150 because I can't English right now. And then this number right here, see? You add this number to the 1,500 that we have right down here, to our base number. And that is our total power right there. This is our total power if P equals 1,000 and N equals 1. This is the number that we have for total power. Now, this is the mistake that people make. It's when we add more than just 1. So if N equals 2 instead of 1, let's just say N equals 2. We're going to run through the math again. N equals 2. So we have 1,000. We're going to keep the 1,000 P, N, or actually, hold up. We need to do this part first. So we have 500 times 2, because N is equal to 2. That equals to 1,000. So this right here is 1,000, right? Yes, you can see it. Now we have to add this to P. P is equal to 1,000 as well. So we have 1,000 plus 1,000. That equals 2,000, right? Easy, nice. Now we have to this. Since I'm just ignoring this part because it's a little bit too complicated. This is basically how it's working right now, just to make it digestible. Now we have the 10%. So ignore this other parentheses. Now we got the 10%. But there's an N here. So this 10% is equal to, so 10% converted to a decimal is 1. So, but we have to multiply that by N. N is 2. So 0.2. There we go. So that means we need to multiply this 0.2, 20%, in another case, because we have 2 N's and each N equals 10%. So if you have 2 N's, 10% is now added together to make 20%. That's an easier way of saying it. And then it basically just turns this to 2 over 10, and then that's 0.2, which is converted back to 0.2. Just so, but yeah, all you're doing is adding percentages together. This percentage is so now when we add 2, this needs to be multiplied by the 2,000. Yeah, so you see how we added the 150. You see how we added the 150 to the 550, and then this is the number we got. That is not the number we add 500 to. So if we add 500 megawatts to this would not equal 2,000. This would equal 2,000 plus 500. This extra 2,000 plus 150, which would give you the wrong answer. That's the fatal mistake that people end up making. We do not want to touch this. What we touch is this, and then we add another 500 megawatts because we actually have 2N instead of 1N. An extra 500 to this, which would equal 2,000. And then this number, so now that we have 0.2, we need to multiply this number by 2,000, which is P plus 500N. 500 times 2. 500 times 2 is 1,000. P is also equal to 1,000, so that's 2,000. We multiply that number by this 0.2, which is also equal to this. These two things are exactly the same because N is 2. And then we multiply this number by 2,000, and that is 400. So 20% of 2,000 is 400. Now we add that 400 to the 2,000 because that's what we're doing, and that is 2,400. There we go. Math right there. And yeah. Hopefully that makes a good amount of sense. But let's just continue the video. I really want to put this in the beginning because this guy, him, and they also talked about it here. They didn't do a good job. And in the interview from Bits' YouTube channel. Yeah, there we go. Bits' YouTube channel. Now you can see it. But anyways, yeah, let's just get back to this because I really want to react. They added new stuff. Let's get into it.
I haven't been able to sleep in days. That stupid loud Somersloop laser machine they have running in their backyard. What does it even do? What does it even do?
I know what it does.
All right, before we get into whatever that...
Not gonna lie, I miss Chase, but he does a really good job. I wish Chase would come back. Come on, you two were like cool tag teaming on this Satisfactory stuff, but I guess Chase had other plans. We miss you, Jace.
That is. And before we get into the...
He's the other community manager that used to work for Coffee Stain Studios, but ended up leaving. And then I think he does his own thing now, but he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, but I miss him.
Cliffhanger that I kind of left you on last week with the whole changes to blueprints. We'll get to that. We'll get to the good stuff, okay? But before we get into that stuff, I have a couple of things that I just want to like do a little bit of spring cleaning and talk about a few things that we've been wanting to talk about in past videos, but we haven't really found a good opportunity to do it, or I just straight up forgotten to talk about it. So speedrun of a couple of new exciting things coming in 1.0 that we haven't talked about yet, and that we should, given that this is the last week before the release.
By the way, this dropped 2 days ago, so I'm a little bit late, but it's all right. But anyways, I'm just going to do a quick rundown on what he's about to talk about, because I did watch this before, but I just really wanted to rewatch it and give you some more information. Maybe I might just keep watching it. I don't know if we're going to finish to the end, but basically they added so many quality of life things. Actually, let's run through the quality of life things real quick, because they're so good. They are so good. It's going to make building so much easier.
So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to mention is that we are going to add 2 new liquid fuel types that we haven't talked about yet. And those are both sort of...
Well, those are cool, but what we need to know is what we did with the... So this part is the part that I really want to talk about. We got 2 new fuel types. That's cool, but this is game-changing.
Tight and you know, of the good kind. And these are kind of hard to like explain specifically what we've done. We just like improved how snapping works and make it more so that like, you know, when you're placing stuff, you sort of get what you expect and get the behavior out of the build mechanics that you expect. But one specific thing I want to mention is that now, instead of having to aim at the input and outputs of building, you just need to aim at the building itself, and it will like snap towards whatever input and output or whatever that makes sense, instead of having to like finagle around. And
yes, thank you. We needed that. Thank you.
Aim specifically where you need to. We've also made improvements to guidelines on how they work. So previously it was just like one green line that showed up. If you hold down control and you aim at stuff, it would just like indicate to you where stuff is aligning. So now it has a visual change, and it also now properly snaps buildings on foundations when you hold control. And like I mentioned, it has a visual change.
Thank you. Because this has been a very, yeah, my thing now pops into the thing automatically. Not editing. I'm really too lazy for that. But anyways, yes, this is good. This is great. This is really great. Actually, maybe I should turn that off, because now you guys can't even see what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to remain tiny right on the screen. It's cool. It's great. But anyways, yes, finally, because the snapping system that they had in the game so far is so janky. It just, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's so annoying. But I'm so glad that they finally fleshed out this system.
As well. So now it also indicates when you're trying to connect and align stuff with like inputs to outputs and stuff like that, it will show you that. And it will visually show this by having either a green line to show inputs, it will have a red line to show output, and it will have a blue line to indicate like the center of mass of the building if you want to align buildings to buildings. And we also have so that like inputs and outputs have dashed lines, and they're also moving to sort of indicate direction as well. So now hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to sort of figure out like where things go. Hopefully the guidelines will make it a bit clearer now as to where you're placing the buildings. And the next thing I want to talk about, let me just hook up this belt here and let me do.
This is revolutionary. Yes, we needed this. We needed this. Oh man, I needed this. Okay, let's keep going.
Ooh, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Happened? So yeah, this is the shit actually. So now when you're placing,
this is the actually this is the second shit. This is the second shit. The first shit is the using his words, not mine, his words, is the new thing with the mesospheres. Oh, the mesospheres. You know what? I won't even cliffhanger it. Let's just go straight to it. So they have a whole. Hold up. I'm going to show you what they did. Oh, before we do to the mesospheres, this part right here. This, I called it. In the last preview, maybe like 4 weeks ago, they threw out a teaser trailer, and basically they've made it so that, was there anything else? Like the 9-degree angle? I think we're done with the 9-degree angle. Yeah, that was basically it. That was all. But this right here, material changes. They did material changes because I saw pipes and they were shiny. And I'm like, I want shiny pipes.
So think of these as sort of like skins that you can apply on top of the existing buildables. Instead of just being able to paint them and have different colors, you can also get like different finishes and sort of different materials on the buildables. And these range from stuff
also,
like, you know...
Hold up. Something I didn't even realize because I was so mesmerized by the finishes. It just makes things look shiny, and then you just put a paint on top of it, and then it makes that color very shiny. Ooh, that's nice. You know, you almost don't even need the other ones, because like if you want a Caterium finish, you just get unpainted and then make your thing yellow. Like you could just make a custom yellow, and then it'll just, you plop this on top of the custom yellow, it'll look Caterium like. If you can't layer colors on top of these, then that would suck. Then that's probably why they have different types. That would suck. That would really suck. I hope we could do that. Let's get right to the cliffhanger part.
So, really
literally the best thing in the entire game. This solves everything and also deletes me heavily because I made a whole blueprint on how to fix this problem, but they literally just added a whole new thing with the alien mesospheres. I think I'm saying it right. Mesospheres? I'm probably saying it wrong, but hey, whatever. Let's keep going.
All right, so with that out of the way, let's finally talk about the changes we made to blueprints. So,
yeah,
really excited to talk about this. So, one thing that people have always wanted when it comes to blueprints is the possibility.
We're gonna full screen this. It is running at 2.5 speed. 1.5 speed. What'd I say, 2? Yes, harvest. We must harvest. We must. I am hitting all the buttons and taking out a full screen because I wanted to make that kind of cinematic. But hey, it's cool. This solves everything. This literally solves the biggest problem in Satisfactory and literally deletes hours of me making that blueprint and how cool it was. And I have a whole video on it. It's on my channel. You can find it. I'm kind of upset, but at the same time, this is a really good addition.
To talk
really
about
good
that now.
addition.
Okay, we cannot leave that unfinished. All right, let's get into it. So this is going to be the meat of the video, okay? We're going to talk about what that is and what you use it for. The thing in the sky, the big eye thing, that is actually a Mercer sphere.
Mercer sphere, not a mesosphere.
There's been a couple of artifacts, I would say, that you haven't been able to take advantage of, such as the summer sloops and the Mercer spheres. And in 1.0, these are finally going to be usable. And what the heck are you going to use them for? Well,
yeah, we're going to talk about the summer sloops first for the augmenter that I literally tried to try, and then it gives the whole thing, and we're going to skip all that part, but we're going to go right to the Mercer spheres.
Last bit of, strange phenomena that you're going to run into on the planet is the Mercer sphere. And the Mercer sphere has...
Oh, wait, summer sloops. They are basically productivity modules in Factorio. They increase the output and increase the amount of energy by a lot, but they don't increase the amount of materials that you need to double your output, which is good. Also, these things are limited resources within the game. You can't multiply these things unless you use cheats and stuff like that. which is good, which is interesting because that means you can't double every single machine in your entire factory, that would be very insane, and a lot of power would be needed for that. But yeah, hey, let's just keep going.
Only one purpose or use case, but it is a good one, okay? With Mercer Spheres, you're going to be able to create a new building called the Dimensional Depot. So with the Mercer Sphere, you're going to be able to craft this storage container looking building, right?
Yes.
It looks like an ordinary storage container. You are wrong, okay?
Imagine if they added in the future, hey, you know how we said that it's only going to be for personal use? Well, we now have a storage container that has an output function. That would be insane. Oh man, if they added these things but added an output version of that chest that we just saw, storage container that we like. This is an input sign, but imagine if we had an output sign, bro. That would be revolutionary. It would break the game actually, because why would you use belts and make logistics? Just pump items into this and then go all the way to the other side of the world and then have an output and then pump items out for specific factories. There would be no use for trains or any type of logistical transportation to get anything anywhere. So yeah, they're never going to do that. But imagine that though.
Container looking building, right? It looks like an ordinary storage container. You are wrong, okay? It is a storage container. It looks kind of fancy, but this is actually the Dimensional Depot uploader. So what you do with this building is you place it down, you hook it up with a conveyor belt, and you feed parts into it. And what it does is uploads any part that's put into the storage container up to the Dimensional Depot. And if you look over here real quick, I've got my regular inventory, but there's this little button here.
This is revolutionary. This is revolutionary right here.
I'm going to get access to the Dimensional Depot wherever I am on the map. It's all there on the cloud. Ching! So yeah, essentially you're going to be able to set up production lines that you can feed in produce parts and upload them to the Dimensional Depot and be able to access them wherever you are on the map.
I'm going to make a blueprint for this so freaking fast. This will be the first blueprint I ever make, because this is actually... The thing is, though, you don't even need to make a blueprint for this, because all you need to do is make it once. Well, if I do other playthroughs, maybe I would want to have a blueprint for it. So maybe, yeah, I'll just take that back and, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Anytime, any place. It is so nice to do this.
Yes.
You can just drag and drop any item into your inventory, and they're just gonna be there immediately. They're just you're gonna download them from Dimensional Depot.
No need to keep running back and forth, making hypertube cannons. No more need for that nonsense. Yes, travel time to build is man, I like being able to stay in one spot and just keep building and building and building and not have to be like, I'm out of resources. Let's go all the way back to the other side of the map to get more resources. Or make that resource exporter system thing that I did in order to bring my resources from that base via train to the location that I want to build. Oh, do I want to make another factory? Okay, gotta make another resource logistical thing onto the... It was great. Oh, man. Satisfactory non 1.0. It was a fun time. Fun and tedious time. But now... this is revolutionary. We need this
right away. I don't know if I need to spell this out for you, but this means that you no longer need to like run back and forth between bases when you start running out of materials when you're building like another base or another outpost or whatever. Like I really think that this has been one of the biggest gripes that I've had when playing this game.
Yes,
you're constantly like expanding your factory, but every time you do, you have to like
like legit. I would completely forget that what I was building by the time. Like I would go all the way back to the base, pick up the items, and be like, "What items do I need right now?" And I'm like, "Oh, bruh." And then I go all the way, I take the items that I think I need, and then I go all the way back to the other side, and I'm like, oh, wait, I'm trying to build this thing, but now I'm trying to build this other thing. Like, I end up leaving, I'm building one thing, I leave, I forget one specific resource for one specific building that I might have needed, and then I go back, and then I'm like, I'm trying to build that one specific item that I did not get because I was trying to get something else, and I'm like, okay. All right. I don't know. It's just annoying. I want to keep building and stay focused. I can't be focused if I'm hypertubing back and forth. Let's just keep going.
Keep track of all this stuff. And you need to like sort out logistical nightmares just to be able to get the parts you need to be able to keep building your factories. And with the Dimensional Depot, it just makes everything nicer and so much easier to be able to keep playing the game, essentially. And here's the thing too. From your inventory, you can also upload any parts to the Dimensional Depot, like from wherever you are. But there is a limited amount of slots that you can use to be able to do this. And one thing you might have also noticed is that downloading is instant, but uploading takes time. So there's going to be a limit as to like how many parts you can upload to the Dimensional Depot, and there's also a limit as to like how many parts you can have at the Dimensional Depot at the same time. Stack sizes are a bit limited on the Dimensional Depot, but the thing is, both of these things, like the
Literally, I got so lazy to the point to where I started using tickets to get items because I just didn't want to run back to the base that was at the other side of the map creating items. And I'm like, and I need to stop using these tickets. I need to actually start like doing other things and creating a whole logistical nightmare to get things to a one location. But yeah, bro, it got so bad. So this is such a good. It's so good. It is so good.
The upload speed and the stack size on the Dimensional
No
Depot.
more wasted tickets for being lazy.
In the MAM. And one really, really cool thing on top of all this stuff is that when you're building out in the world, it will also grab whatever parts that you need to place whatever building you're doing from the Dimensional Depot. So if you're running out of parts in your inventory, you don't need to download them into your inventory. They're just going to be there when you build.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is so good. It is so good.
And it's also possible to set, like, when you're building buildings, whether you want the parts for that building to come first from your inventory, or if you want them to come from the Dimensional Depot at first and save the stuff that you have in your inventory for later. But here's the thing with Dimensional Depot, this is purely for your own personal use. It's only for your personal inventory. So you're not going to be able to take advantage of this for any production lines. So while you're going to be able to set up, like, steel production, feed those parts into Dimensional Depot so you can access them wherever, you're not going to be able to take those parts.
Actually, technically, you could. All you got to do is download them and then open up a chest and then put the downloaded items that you took right into that chest, and then there you go. But you have to self-supply it. Like, it won't be automated, basically, is what he's trying to say. Like, it won't be automated to the point to where you don't need to do any interaction at all.
Parts and like set up another production chain somewhere else and just like grab them from the Dimensional Depot and start producing new parts from those things. So the Dimensional Depot isn't going to be used for any type of like production automation or anything like that. That's not how the Dimensional Depot works. It's purely for your personal inventory. So yeah, that is a big feature coming in 1.0, and it's
also with the blueprints, they just increased it from a 4x4x4 to a 5x5x5. So that's basically all what happened with the yeah, there we go. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm just assuming it's 5 going up as well because well, he said 5x5x5, and I don't think he's lying. So there we go. But yeah, that's basically it. Also, maybe I should go run through how Sam, strange alien material. Yeah, I think he talks about it here.
The heck are you going to use them for? Well, let me explain. So as you explore the planet, you'll run into these like strange phenomena that you can discover. And by researching them in the MAM, along with the strange alien matter, you'll be able to unlock like a whole new potential, alien technology. So let's first talk about the strange alien matter on the planet. So this
SAM for short
is going to be sort of the basic building block for almost all technology that involve alien tech. So when you extract SAM from the planet, you're going to be able to create something called reanimated SAM. And this part is going to be used in a lot of different things. For instance, you saw it in the converter, and you saw it in, I think you've only seen it in the converter actually, now I think about it. But yeah, it's going to be used for a lot of different things. Reanimated SAM, you create in constructors straight with SAM, and SAM fluctuators you create by combining reanimated SAM, wire, and pipes in the manufacturer. And by the way, it's just SAM now because we've renamed it to strange alien matter, and so it's not SAM ore, okay? I just want to put that out there because it's got sort of the same energy as saying ATM machine, okay? It's like an extra thing. No need for it.
That's true. But anyways, yeah, that's basically it. What do you guys think? Like and subscribe and comments great too. Thank you very much. But I think this is great. Wait, hold up. Now we're gonna say right here. Just do what's on screen. I think this is great. What do you guys think? Down in the comments below. I was right. There was new material changes. They didn't say anything about officially supporting Lumen, but they are using it in their trailers, so I can say they're pseudo-officially using, Lumen, which is the whole really nice shadows, basically why the game has really nice shadows and very pretty visual effects because of the new engine upgrade that they did. I think that was pretty good. That was one thing that I was maybe pseudo right on it because they didn't officially do it, but they are using it in literally all the trailers now. So if they're not officially showing it, they are officially throwing it onto their things and not advertising, but like showcasing it. So hey, it looks good. It looks pretty. It's great. Yeah, and I think that's it. So thanks for watching.